Hello everybody, my name is Isaac. I'm a graduate student at the University of Minnesota, and for these couple videos I'll be showing you what things you can do with an Arduino, an accelerometer, and a servo. Just a little demo here. This thing's got an accelerometer on board, and when I rotate it like this, the servo moves in the opposite direction, creating a kind of like a gimbal or stabilizer, something like that. So that's just one of the things that we'll be going through in these couple videos. First video, what type of materials we'll need, what an Arduino is, why it's useful in robotics. In the second video, we'll go over the accelerometer that we're going to be using, and in the third video we'll go over the servos, and then we'll put the whole thing together, and then we'll kind of explore other things you can do with these type of materials. So with that, let's just dive right in. So most importantly, you're going to need an Arduino Uno Rev 3. You can buy this off the Arduino store. Almost all these things you can buy off the Arduino store. But this is what will do all the computations and connect everything together. So next you're going to need a Grove Base 2 shield for Arduino. These can also be found on the Arduino store, but this allows for easy in and out connections between the Arduino and the sensors that we'll be using. You can do it without this, but you're going to have to do some manual wiring, which we won't be covering in these videos for the sake of time. So this thing will make it a lot easier. Then you're going to need some servos as well. You can use one, or I recommend getting two because there's more things you can do. And then the accelerometer down here is what will be connected to the Arduino to get information. This is a 6-axis accelerometer and gyroscope, so it has both capabilities, which is really nice. And then you'll need a computer that can download the Arduino software, and it needs to have a USB port on it somewhere. Most computers do, so I think that'll be fine. And then a USB-A male to USB male connector, which connects from the computer to the Arduino, is the last thing that you'll need for this. This, I believe they also sell on Amazon, but if you want a longer one, you can, or sorry, also on the Arduino website, but if you want a longer one, you can find it on Amazon for pretty cheap. Let's start off with what's most important here, and that's the Arduino Uno. As you can see, this is what it looks like. I'll put on the screen a really good diagram that has all the inputs and outputs of the Arduino, but basically what an Arduino is it's a small development board that has a microcontroller on it, and it has a lot of pins for in and outs that we can connect sensors to feed information in and get information out of. And so it's really handy for things like robotics. These small computers can be onboard electronics instead of, like, if you have a big computer, it's not going to be easy to put on a small robot, things like that. So these small mobile devices can be really useful for things like that. So that's what we'll be using it for. Take a look at that diagram, and we're going to explain how to set it up and what software you'll need next. So yeah, we'll just jump right into that. First, what we're going to need is we're going to need the software for the Arduino before we even connect it. So to get this software, we're going to go to the Arduino website. If it doesn't come up automatically like this, it'll just be the first link after you look up Arduino. And so this website can be used to buy all of the things all the materials we were looking at before. They have different kits, and they have the boards, things like that. But what we're going to be looking at is the software at the moment. So if you look at software on the top and then go to downloads, and now you're going to want to download the Arduino type that works for your computer. So I'm on a Windows, so I'll be downloading this one, but if you're using Linux, you can use one of these. If you're using Mac, you can use that. So click on it to download, and just click just download here. Alright, So after that's downloaded, you can just double click on it and click yes to that, and then click agree to all the setup stuff, and then make sure all of these are clicked. I think we'll definitely need the USB one and the Arduino software for sure. And then install. Alright, so once it's finished installing, it'll say completed up here, and you can hit close. And then you can go to your search bar in the bottom left of your Windows screen and search for Arduino, and it should pop up and you can just click on it. And then you'll get this starting screen and you'll get an Arduino open notebook. Yours might be empty. I've installed Arduino before, so I have some information already. But basically what this screen is this is where you'll write your code. You don't have to write any code for this. I'll link all of the code that you'll need, but it's helpful to know that this is where you would do it, and this is where you'll put the code that I link. So for plugging things in, it's pretty simple. You're just going to need the USB cable that you bought before, and the Arduino Uno, and then your computer, and you're going to plug in one end of the USB cable into the computer, and then the other end right into the Arduino board. I'll show close-ups of both of those, and the Arduino should light up to show that it has power, and then we'll show you what you should see on the software side of things. Alright, so let's look at a very simple example for the Arduino Uno. If you open up your Arduino application, and you might have text up here, you might not, but every Arduino comes with some basic code already. So if we go to File here, and then we go to Examples, and then Basics, and click on Blink. And so that'll pop up with a notebook like this. So I'll make this full screen for everybody to see. So this will come up with a little script here, and we'll just go over what each line of the code means real quick. But basically what it's doing is, in the setup it's setting a pin, and we don't have to worry about too much about this, but what we're doing is we're sending a high signal for 1,000 milliseconds and then a low signal for 1,000 milliseconds to the LED that's built in on the device. And what this will do is it'll just turn on the LED for a second and then turn it off for a second, because 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So this is what the script is. So just pulling up this doesn't actually put it on the board. How you're going to put it on the board is you're going to hit this upload button, and when you hit this upload button, it'll show down here it's compiling and uploading, and it should be pretty quick here, but it says done uploading. And now if you look at your board, which should be plugged in, you should see a yellow light blinking on and off every second. So this is just a very simple thing to show that you have a connection. So one thing I do want to mention is if it's not uploading for you, it may be because it's looking at the wrong USB port on your computer. So how you can check for this is if you go to Tools up here and you go to Port down here, see how mine lists multiple ports. If I was on COM1 by accident and I tried uploading, nothing will happen, and it'll either just be constantly on this uploading thing, or an error will be flagged. Yeah, an error occurred while uploading the sketch. So if instead I go to Tools, I go to Ports, and then I make sure I'm on the one that says Arduino Uno on it. If yours doesn't say Arduino Uno, just try multiple different ports. One of them should be the right one, as long as everything's plugged in. So if you click on that, then hit upload, then it should work fine. So the last thing I want to go over for part 1 of this video is looking at the Arduino, and we're going to look at our second piece of equipment here, which is this Grove Shield. What the Grove Shield is basically it makes it easier for us to connect sensors to the Arduino itself. So if you take a look at it, it has all these different plugins on it, and what these plugins do, all this board is doing is it's mapping plugins from here through these pins on the side here, and then into the holes on the Arduino. So basically all you do is you line up both sides and all the pins, and then line up this thing here too, so you can see all of those lining up, and then you just sandwich them together, and you push in semi-hard, and then this thing down here will just line up perfectly. So once that's connected, that's how we're going to end this video, but you can see how it makes it easier to connect different sensors to the board. That's going to be it for this video. In the next video, we're going to cover the accelerometer, and what an accelerometer is, what a gyroscope is, what they measure, how to connect it to the board, and how to read information from the sensor itself. So stay tuned for that video, and thank you for watching.